Hello everyone. Let everyone filter in here. Welcome everyone. Welcome. All right, we're tracking severe weather in Wisconsin today. We have a slight risk from the Storm Prediction Center, as you can see below me there. This is for mainly damaging winds, but there is an isolated tornado risk as well, you can see here, including the Madison area up through northern Illinois. You can also see that in Radar Omega here. But yeah, it's just pretty standard severe weather day. We have Vince is streaming on the Radar Omega app on his YouTube channel as well. We also have Aiden heading out today for this severe weather, this line segment up here in New Lisbon. 2 seconds. Hey Aiden, that part of the line is now rated for 1.75 inch hail. Yeah, Aiden's gonna be out here today, so we'll pull him up when he goes live. But I just wanted to go live a little beforehand and give you guys an idea of what's happening. Pretty chill day today. Nothing crazy, but just some, pretty standard severe weather for August. So we're gonna keep an eye on things in case anything goes nuts. We had that line segment blow through here earlier. I can pull it up for you guys. Look back a few hours. See here. There's a kind of a lot of convection in eastern Wisconsin today that blew through, and that's kind of led to development back here to the south where Vince is at by Janesville. But we're also seeing new stuff form out north of Baraboo in the Dells. So we need to keep an eye on this as well. The 2% tornado risk is down here in northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. Extreme eastern Iowa as well. So we're potentially waiting for new convection to develop back over there. But right now it seems a little uncertain. So we're just going to keep an eye on things. And yeah, but let's get into it. New Lisbon, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. Mauston, that is it for 1.75 inch hail and less than 50-mile-per-hour winds. This is some larger hail. It's considerable damage threat, so stay inside. Don't want to go out in this. That's going to be moving southeast. It's moving at 40 miles per hour, so get inside for this if you're in that polygon there. Tornado threat is not very high at all, not even in the 2%. So if you're in this area, just go inside. It's just going to be some hail and some heavy rain as well. Looking down to the south by Janesville, we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. One for 1.5 inch hail and 6-mile-per-hour winds over Janesville, heading towards Clinton, Whitewater, and the Illinois border there, east of Beloit. So seek shelter if you're in that warning. And back to the west over Evansville, Brooklyn, Albany, Spring Valley, Broadhead, Orfordville, Wisconsin. Quarter-sized hail, 6-mile-per-hour winds. So if you're in this, again, take shelter. Not as big of a deal as the larger hail size severe thunderstorm warnings, but if you're in this, you're going to want to be in shelter. Don't want to go outside for this. A lot of lightning too and rain, so it's some conditions are deteriorating, but these storms should move out fairly soon. Tornado threat is low but not zero. You can see this outflow boundary here. You can see we have a little kink in the line here along that boundary. That could maybe be a point where we could see a tornado develop if this storm can grab the boundary. Although it doesn't seem to be doing a very good job of that. So I don't think it personally will, but you never know. So that'd be more of a risk for northern Illinois here, northwest of Chicago. So just something to watch for now. Yeah, and the flash flooding threat could be slightly higher with this. We can look at Radar Omega, the excessive rainfall outlook. You can see we're in a large slight risk for this. And this could mean there's some heightened flooding threats pretty much through this area. Maybe some flash flood warnings, stuff like that. They considered upgrading to a moderate risk. I don't think they have yet, so we're just going to keep an eye on that. And if you're in the area, definitely going to want to be paying attention for flash flood warnings, stuff like that. So that is that. Yep. So we're just going to keep an eye on things, make sure nothing gets too crazy here. If you're in this area in Wisconsin and northern Illinois to some extent too. You can check out Vince Welty and the Radar Omega app, or you can check him out at his YouTube channel. The link is in the description. So if you want to go look at his stream, go do it there. I'm not going to be having his stream up for very long. I want to make sure everyone can watch his stream because he does a really good job, and I want everyone to go over there and show some appreciation. So, but Aiden will be online as well in a bit. And we're going to be watching these storms here in Wisconsin. Also check out Aiden, forgot to mention. He's in the description as well. Storm Chaser Aiden OWX. He's linked below as well. There, we are all associated with Project Weather Eye, so that's also in the description and the pin message. So again, check that out. And one more thing, Radar Omega. Thank you to Radar Omega for this software. It works great and allows me to do this, so I really appreciate that. But yeah. We're watching this storm. As you can see, we kind of have like a supercell shape, and this boundary here could be a focal point for tornadic activity as long as it is able to grab the boundary. We're not really sure right now if that's going to happen. You can play back the loop here. You can see it's tried to grab it, but it's, you know, here's the kind of hook-like appendage, and here's the boundary. It's not quite doing it, so I'm of the opinion probably won't be able to because this boundary is moving really fast south. But this storm should still contain a decent-sized hail and heavy wind, so still something to watch out for, I guess you could say. But we're also watching this storm here over Mauston and New Lisbon heading towards the Dells. Has a 1.75-inch hail on it. The thing with this is there shouldn't be as high of a tornado threat. We're still kind of elevated. There's still some stable air at the surface preventing this storm from really drilling down and producing a tornado. But it could still produce large hail and damaging winds, so we need to watch that. The atmosphere could eventually recover and lead us to having more of a tornado threat, but that's still to be determined at this point. But we are going to monitor that. Also could touch on Hurricane Erin, which is now Cat 5 out in the Atlantic, but we're going to focus on this for now. But I might touch on that eventually, give you guys an idea of what's going on with that. Yeah, we have a slight risk today. All right, Aiden's heading towards Wautoma. He's going to be on this pretty soon. Probably have to drop south for it, but I have to do something. Hold on. Hold on 2 seconds. Forgot to do something. Something important. Something I always forget to do is to put the live in my I always forget to do that. There we go. Should be good now. Okay. Yeah, this looks fairly elevated. We don't really have any hints of a mesocyclone or anything yet. Maybe we could look at higher tilts and see, but right now looks to be mainly a damaging wind and hail threat. So. You can also look at other areas as well. We can look back towards, oh, one more thing. They extended the severe thunderstorm warning for this storm in southern Wisconsin into northern Illinois. So if you're in this warning, take shelter. That is for 1.25-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's Harvard, Illinois, Poplar Grove, heading towards Marengo, Illinois, Woodstock, Crystal Lake, and parts of the northern Chicago metro as well. So you might want to keep an eye on this. It could be moving your way in the future if it's allowed to develop and the conditions are supportive of development there. Which I believe they are. Yeah, you have a lot of instability there in southern or northern Illinois. Let me pull that up. You can see the my cursor here on the top right, top northeast corner of Illinois there. You have around, you know, what, 5,000 joules per kilogram of surface-based instability. And look in the mixed layer here, you have around 3,500 joules per kilogram. That's supportive of this line segment to strengthen a bit, maybe, as it moves further into northeast Illinois. So if you're in that area, I would maybe be planning for, at the very least, some heavy rain, some gusty winds. But as this moves north southeast, we're going to be watching for redevelopment or strengthening of this storm. So that's probably why they continued the warning there. Yeah. So we have some storms by Detroit as well. Huh. Kind of looks like we have a little supercell here in the Detroit metro. Genoa, Brighton Township, Michigan. Hamburg Township, Green Oak Township in Michigan. Looks like a small little transient supercell, maybe. Don't really have much in terms of low-level rotation right now, but I want to watch that. They have a special weather statement out for it. Wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and nickel-sized hail. That'll be moving to the east-southeast. Looks like it kind of lost its outflow boundary there. You see the hook shape. But still watch it, at least for small hail, if you're in this area of Michigan. Let's take a look elsewhere. Indiana. Just garden variety thunderstorms. Take a look at Florida. I always like doing that. Not too much going on. We got some storms going up over Ruskin. Along the sea breeze boundary there. Another easterly flow day. If you know, you know. Up here by Jacksonville area, southern Georgia, getting a lot of rain. You see some isolated flash flooding and flood advisories issued for this. It's a lot of rain, but looks to be kind of dissipating now. But it's around Jacksonville. Let's look elsewhere. Considerable flash flood warning for Colorado, north of Rifle, Colorado, Bald Knob Mountain, and the Rockies there. Considerable flash flood warning. Oh, it's going down a burn scar. Yeah, that'll do it. And some pretty substantial flooding here in Colorado, south central Rio Blanco County, northwestern Garfield County. Yeah, there's a burn scar here from the Lee fire, and when it rains, it'll really flood out those burn scars pretty good. So they've issued a considerable flash flood warning for this area. So definitely get to higher ground if you're in that. Sounds fairly substantial. Doesn't take a lot of rain with these burn scars. You can get a little shower and it can provide pretty decent flooding. Just a little shower, little storm. So our definitely our main show today is the Wisconsin activity, but we can touch on Hurricane Aaron maybe at some point in the future as well, because that is a pretty substantial storm we have right now. I believe it's Cat 5, or is maintaining its strength, if not strengthening even further. So pretty gnarly storm. You can take a look at that later. Yeah, okay. We'll keep an eye on Wisconsin for now, because there's nothing really else going on. May have gone live a little early today, but it's fine. We'll make do. All right. Eric, category 5. Huh. We mentioned that last time. Yep, yeah, I agree. There's some we can look at Hurricane Aaron right now if you would like. Um, take a peek at that. Yeah, I believe they did issue. Oh my goodness, look at that pinhole eye. Oh my gosh, this thing's a beast. Look at that eye, just shrinking, getting really strong here. Look at that eye just close off. That's a really hallmark of a really strong storm. I don't know if they've issued hurricane warnings for. They may have. Let me pull that up for Hurricane Aaron, Puerto Rico. They very well could have, yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. There's a ton of rain with this system here. Um, Hurricane Aaron is pretty substantial, that's for sure. It's going to miss you guys in Puerto Rico. It's going to go this way. So you don't have to really worry about it, but it could be gusty, could be a little windy. Definitely getting some rain, I believe. Virgin Islands are getting a flash flood warning, which is pretty crazy. You don't see that a lot of the time. I think we have a radar in Puerto Rico as well. Yes, we do. Oh, you can see the eye here. That's the eye on radar. That's all the rain you're getting. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that. You can see the eye as it's tracking. It's pretty good track here. It's staying on that center line, so. But you guys are getting, at least the Virgin Islands right now are getting a lot of rain. As this moves west towards you, you might be getting some more rain with that for sure. For sure. Right now, the only flash flood warning is over the Virgin Islands. And a special marine warning, too. Clusters of severe thunderstorms associated with Aaron's outer bands capable of producing strong gusty winds to nearly 50 knots and waterspouts. Wow. That sounds like a big deal. It's one of the more interesting special marine warnings we've seen. But that's what associated with Hurricane Aaron. Just a monster of a storm. Just a monster of a storm. You don't get storms this strong usually out here. I mean, we have in the last few years, but haven't seen this in quite a while. at least since Beryl last year. And this is expected to reach a peak of 165 miles per hour sustained. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually goes higher than that. This thing has been consistently strong and pushing past the guidance that everyone says it's going to be. So, yeah, pretty substantial here. We're going to keep an eye on this because it's obviously a pretty big story right now. It is expected to miss the United States, but Bermuda may need to watch closely and make sure it's not going to affect you guys. We're going to watch it, though. Pay attention to the NHC forecasts and stuff like that. That's a pretty big deal. Let's go touch back on Wisconsin. All right. Nothing new here, really. It's this one. Moving out of the polygon there. All right. All right, Aiden is nearing the storm in Wisconsin. Okay, yep. Yeah, we're just going to keep an eye on this storm as it continues off to the southeast, heading towards the northern part of the Dells, Del Prairie, stuff like that. Yeah, not much happening right now, other than stuff in Wisconsin. I believe this is going to end up being the main show. If we see redevelopment back here, that would also be something to watch, but I don't know if we will see that. It's kind of uncertain at the moment. Looks like we're getting some more severe or special weather statements out for this area. In Michigan, they've extended and added a few more of those for these storms over here northwest of Detroit. Some small hail and gusty winds. I think of immediate concern, I think this one here doesn't look really tornadic at all, but maybe in the future. See, it's kind of moving to the southeast along that boundary there. We don't really have very much wind shear out here. It's August. We have, we don't have a very dynamic storm system to bring wind shear, especially low-level shear. So probably what's going to happen, if anything happens at all, is, again, if this storm is able to grab onto that boundary and ride it southeast, it could maybe produce a tornado. But right now that looks fairly low end. I wouldn't expect anything like that to happen. They don't even have a 2% out for this area. But sometimes you get surprise tornadoes because there's a lot of boundaries in summer. There's a lot of instability. Sometimes you get surprise accidents like that. So just something to watch. And we can also see maybe this storm over here is putting out a boundary and reinforcing this. Maybe we could see something happen there. But yeah, for right now, if you're in this area of Michigan, again, just going to be some gusty winds and small hail. But if anything crazy happens with that, I'll let you know. All right, Kentucky here. Yeah, these are just showers. Yeah, I don't really want to be looking up every little rain shower across the country because there's hundreds. Sometimes they just put special weather statements on rain showers, and that's not super productive for what I want to do. I want to be focused on like the more severe threats. But if a special weather statement like storm looks substantial enough, I will look at it at least and give it a fair shake. Looks like we got some storms going up in my area. It's still down. Man, this radar is never working. It's for some reason level 2 data, and I think it's across all radar apps, have are having outages in Florida, or have for a while. I don't know why that is, but it's just been like that. Um, let's go back to Wisconsin. Aiden is nearing his storm. He has said there's a pretty nasty shelf cloud on this. Shelf cloud meaning it's pretty much what happens when you have a line segment moving through an area. It kind of kicks out this alpha boundary gust front, and you can get that air rising along that gust front. Creates kind of like a shelf cloud. It kind of looks like a flat cloud. It's often mistaken for a wall cloud, but it's a I wish I could just show you. Actually, I know what I can do. Wait, no. I have a picture. We get lots of shelf clouds out here in Florida. I have a picture I could maybe put up at some point. I got one just last night. I got a shelf cloud, but it's pretty much a cloud that's like slowly moving on the edge of a thunderstorm. It's usually signifying outflow. It's not anything tornadic. People all the time mistake it for a wall cloud, but it is not a wall cloud. There's a way maybe I could get like, I could put images up for my phone. Or I could just literally show you my phone. So let's do it, I guess. I don't know if you can see this. Oh no, it's ruining it. Okay. Yeah, that's not gonna work. At least I tried. Yeah, I'll find some way to maybe upload this onto the stream, put up a picture. That could be pretty cool. I'm sure there's some way to do it. I just takes some time to add that to the stream. It looks like I'm kind of seeing a general weakening trend here. Don't really see any renewed attempts at convection anywhere. Might have a cumulus field developing in northwest Iowa, but even that is a little nebulous at this point. You can see there. Look at northeast Iowa. It doesn't really look like very healthy cumulus to me. A lot of cloud cover too. Kind of makes you wonder. But at this point, we still have some storms ongoing with severe thunderstorm warnings, so still ongoing, but I don't think we're seeing much in regards to redevelopment yet. If we're going to see that at all, which we may not. But if you're watching, remember to like the stream. Tells the algorithm that I'm doing something right, and maybe get some more people here, spread the word. And it's not a huge deal, but I'm a small channel just starting out, so I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button and consider subscribing too. But I'm not going to tell you what to do. That is up to you. I don't know about you guys. I just can't stand the channels that like shove down like and subscribe, like and subscribe every 3 seconds. I'll maybe say it once per stream, but I've had people tell me if you don't like remind people to like and sub, they just don't. But I don't know. Doesn't really serve my purpose here. I just want to cover the weather. I want to get the word out. Some channels, like some larger channels, they're live for the big stuff, like the really big events. You know, like derechos, tornadoes, stuff like that. I like to be live for like the small stuff, like everyday weather, because you know in the summer and spring, you a lot of time have like marginal slight risk type events across the country, happening pretty much at all times and every day. So, and no one's really live for that. So I'm thinking like, you know, maybe there might be some people like, oh, I'm getting a pretty bad storm right now, but there's no one covering it on YouTube. So maybe I could get that out, get the stream out to other people and let them know that, you know, we are covering it. We are, you know, I am giving a live look at what's going on. So no one's going to be caught off guard or anything. But definitely still a small channel. So I'm going to keep doing this and we'll see what happens with it. Yeah, there's Vince. Oh,
I don't know if anybody knows, was the watch extension for that line that's up there?
I think Kane's gonna get that one. Apparently they issued a watch extension. Let me check that.
Yeah, I think it
Yep,
just takes
Kane's
them
got it.
down into like Chicago. They went northwest.
Huh. Interesting. That is quite interesting, actually. Oh, and they just issued the day one. Oh, hold on. We have a new SPC Outlook that's in right now. They didn't adjust anything, I don't think. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so apparently they extended the watch back to the northwest here. So they might be expecting some more convection to develop. So we'll need to keep an eye on that for sure. That would extend our severe threat a bit. Yep. Just gonna keep watching. Aiden's almost there. I definitely did go live a little bit early. A little bit too early. Sometimes that happens. Or maybe it was the right time, because if nothing develops, then this is it. So, yeah, Harvard, Illinois. Looks like, okay, yeah, looks like this storm here, at least in the near term, probably has the most pressing severe issue, or severe threat, I guess. Warned for 1.25-inch hail and 6-mile-per-hour winds right now. You can see it's kind of trying to catch up to that boundary. I'm not really sure how much of a tornado threat it will bring, if any, but needs to be monitored over the next few minutes here. It's like I said earlier, it might be an environment where it could re-strengthen. There's a lot of instability in place right now. So if you're in front of this warning, anywhere like Crystal Lake, Illinois, Algonquin, Illinois, northern Chicago Metro, northwest Chicago Metro, I want to pay attention to this one. At the very least, you'll be getting some pretty, decently strong winds, 60-mile-per-hour winds with this, small hail, maybe up to an inch, inch and a half. It's not really small, but you know what I mean. But if this can catch up to that boundary, it could maybe increase that wind threat a little more, maybe even a tornado. So something to note. We're going to keep an eye on this one as it moves to the southeast. You can see some slightly higher winds there along that boundary. This is looking above the surface, so it's not exactly what you're seeing at the surface, but still, gotta watch that. It's starting to kind of curl that outflow boundary in the right direction. So that's what you want to see, or you don't want to see, if there's going to be some more severe impacts there. Mm. yeah, that's about it. That's what's going on right now. I'm sure we'll get severe warning up in like South Dakota because I know we have another slight risk out here. I might have updated this. Hold on, 2 seconds. Hasn't processed yet. That sucks. Hold on 2 seconds. Put that back. That's the risk area for today. You can also see that on Radar Omega. At that slight risk area out here, we have 2. So might be seeing some stuff here later in South Dakota. But right now it's hasn't happened yet. Yep. I'm not too certain about Aaron. Oh, hey, Shannon. Yeah, I've been watching Aaron. I guess we can go back to that for a bit since nothing else is really going on. Oh, we got a severe warning in Florida. Yep, we got a severe thunderstorm warning for Green Cove Springs, Middleburg, Florida. This is south of Jacksonville. That's up to 60-mile-per-hour winds and less than 3/4 inch hail. So small hail with this, mainly damaging winds, up to 60 miles per hour. Nothing crazy. We're used to storms like this in Florida, but if you're in that polygon, you're gonna want to take shelter. Just some heavier winds with that. Nothing crazy though. Okay, we can take a look at Aaron real quick since we've been monitoring other things. We've been bouncing between this and severe weather coverage, but oh my gosh, look at that eye. Just a pinhole eye. It is super small. I bet it's going crazy. Yeah, I know. Aaron has been ridiculous lately. Really outperformed what a lot of people were thinking, including the NHC too. It's also been kind of favoring the south part of the track for nearly its whole life, but especially here after it strengthened and rapidly intensified. Yeah, the shear doesn't seem to be really affecting it much at all, which is a bit surprising. Yeah, but I'm wondering if it's tracking a little south, maybe it can go a little closer to the east coast, but it's not going to landfall there by any means. It's going to likely just be a quote unquote fish storm, or at least out to sea. But if it hits Bermuda, I mean, that's not a fish storm. You don't want to downplay the impacts, but at this point, we're really not super sure on where it's going to go. We know it's going to turn north, but if it kind of favors the left part of this, it can maybe clip the Outer Banks. That's not ideal. Yeah, but right now we're kind of just not really quite certain on what it's going to do. We know it's going to turn north and eventually northeast. At least in the short term, like 3 days out, we know it's like very likely to go this way. But it could turn a little more west, and then it could kind of throw things for a loop, and the models to play catch up a bit. We've seen that a little bit with this storm, so there could be more of that going on. Now we got a tornado possible up here in Illinois. Let's go back to radar. Yeah, we have a tornado possible now for this storm we've been watching here for the last few minutes over by Harvard, Illinois, going towards Woodstock, Marengo, Illinois. Let's see here, our outflow boundary. Still trying to play catch up with that. So if it can grab that boundary, we might be able to see a quick tornado or two. Yeah, recon with Aaron for sure. It will be nice because we need to figure out what it's gonna do, right? We don't want anything to be a surprise.
I'm really debating heading north.
Hold on 2 seconds.
Yeah, this seemed to be holding together too much. I mean, they had like a special weather statement on the leading edge.
Oh, we have convective attempts back here.
Well, I'm assuming the watch extension was for that line to the north, so they must expect that to continue for a while. Yeah, they did severe warn some part of it.
2 seconds. Let me look at analysis. Yeah, there's some clearing in southwest Wisconsin, some cumulus. So I'm wondering if we might see storms pop up a bit to the west.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to commit to something, so I think I'm gonna have to go north, I guess.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, so we're monitoring the this kind of area for potential development later. Maybe in the next hour. We don't really know. It's kind of uncertain, but there is a cumulus field starting to show up here and some clearing, so it's possible we could see something. Although not certain. This is the tricky thing with these summertime setups. A lot of it's really dictated on like morning convection and stuff like that. So if we have convection that goes and washes out the entire warm sector of where we're expecting storms later, that'll have an impact. And it looks like we have, we had our early convection here, and now we're having early convection here, leaving a bit of a question of anything developing to the west here. But it might happen. So if it does happen, that would contain a slightly more impactful type of severe risk with supercells, meaning tornadoes, meaning larger hail, damaging winds, but mainly tornadoes and hail we'd be expecting with this activity. So yeah, it's still a bit uncertain, especially since our alpha boundary here is getting draped so far to the south. But you can see it kind of lifts here, so anything that kind of could fire back here maybe could latch onto it. We're not too sure, but we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it. We don't want to write anything off yet. Oh, we had another severe warning in Michigan here for our storm from earlier. It looks like it has intensified a bit. Now we're expecting 1-inch hail and 6-mile-per-hour winds. That's Hamburg Township, Green Oak Township, Hamburg, Michigan, heading towards Ann Arbor, and the kind of the western part of the Detroit metro here. Gonna want to be under some kind of cover, like a roof, if you're in this severe warning. Heavy rain, also a risk here with the storm, but nothing too crazy. But if you're in this warning, gonna want to be inside. New warnings for us. We can take a peek at Mobile, Alabama. That's surprising. Okay. Mobile County, Bayou LaBatre. I don't know how you say that. Grand Bay, Dauphin Island. Looks like you have a severe thunderstorm warning for 1-inch hail, 6-mile-per-hour winds. A lot of lightning with this too. You can see all those little positive signs there. That's lightning. Yeah, a lot of heavy rain with that. Moving to the south towards Dauphin Island. Dauphin. Yep. Still monitoring our Wisconsin risk area for later development. Looks like we've got some hail reports. Excuse me. Some hail reports from New Lisbon. 1.75-inch hail here reported west of New Lisbon, golf ball size. Looks like we have some wind damage as well. Emergency reports. Emergency management reports trees down on power line on County H, north of Highway 21. Nearby wind observation and Cutler gusted to 44 miles per hour. So we do have some damage reports from this line that we're monitoring right now. Looks like they just extended the warning to the Dells, Portage, Lewiston, Wisconsin, Marcellin. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Aiden is nearly there. Okay. Aiden's gonna go on live soon. Yeah, I did look at Aaron on the Puerto Rico radar. It's pretty neat actually. You don't get to see that a lot of the time. You don't see that often. Some hurricanes don't really get as close as you'd want for that kind of thing. The craziest is like when Ian came ashore and you on in like Fort Myers and like Milton to some extent too. You could see the guy on Tampa radar. That was pretty nuts. There's been other hurricanes too, like Michael, I think too. It's always pretty cool when you can see that. But also kind of scary at the same time. Continuing to monitor for redevelopment out to the west. Still quite uncertain, but we are continuing to monitor that. Nothing new. We'll keep an eye on this. Definitely seeing some winds increasing here. Got to keep an eye out for that. Yeah, this is Woodstock, Illinois, Crystal Lake, Illinois, McHenry, Illinois, Algonquin, Illinois. You're in this warning. Tornado possible with this. 0.88-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Doesn't look too organized, but you can see it's trying to catch up with that outflow boundary, so.
It's at like half hour, so I'll probably get somewhere between Sun Prairie and Beaver Dam. I'm hoping. I mean, it looks like the southern part of it's starting to develop a little bit more now.
Yeah, I mean, it has a gust front coming up, and now it looks like it's strengthening a little bit.
Yep. I think you're talking about this storm up here. Yeah. This one up here that ends almost on. He says there's a big shelf cloud on it. We'll pull him up when he's able. Maybe you have some stuff developing. Yeah, that's behind the gust front though. That's not really something we wanna. That's not like the prime threat we're looking at today though. Yeah, we're getting some more damaging wind reports out of Wisconsin here.
See if I got audio.
Oh, Keen's got it.
Sure thing.
All right, Aiden's about to go live here. Just a reminder, for Vince and Aiden, their streams are in their channels are in the links in the description, so check them out. That's Vince Welty and Storm Chaser Aiden O'Brien. We're gonna have Aiden up here once he goes live. Just a reminder, go check their streams out. Don't just sit here on my channel. But yeah, they're great. They do a good job. We're associated with Project Weather Eye and Radar Omega. So links to those are in the pinned comment. You can see there. We're going to be, I think we might be putting out some cameras here in front of these storms. So we'll be able to show that. Probably. Yeah, Portage, Wisconsin. You got this line segment heading towards you. Some strong winds of this, 6-mile-per-hour winds, and 1-inch hail. This is across a lot of Wisconsin. And again, we're still monitoring for a second round back into the west, southwest Wisconsin. Might have more storms going up sometime soon. So we got to watch for that possibility. But for right now, we just have these two areas here. Let's check back on that northern Illinois storm. Still tornado possible, but isn't really looking super healthy. You can see it's kind of just a kind of a Boeing segment. It's not really a discrete supercell like we want to see for heightened tornado risk with this. So, but still coming into the northern Chicago metro, some 60-mile-per-hour winds. It's a smaller hail. let's take a wide look at what's going on across the country here. Still got that severe thunderstorm warning down in Jacksonville area of Florida. That Detroit severe warning, we can touch on that. Nothing crazy. It just looks like some rain right now. West of Detroit, Michigan. Nothing crazy. We have some storms here too. But yeah, just some rain. We'll be focusing more on our main show over here in Illinois and Wisconsin. You can see the wind is kind of, you can see these red colors on radar here. This is velocity. It's just showing you the wind moving towards and away from the radar. And our radar site's up here in Milwaukee. See, we have a lot of wind moving this way. We don't have any wind moving this way that we want to see for a tornado, for example, yet. But what we see here is this heightened areas, these brighter colors. You know, you're seeing up to 60 mile per hour scans coming back from this, meaning that's all moving away from the radar is outflow winds, and up to 60 miles per hour for that. But this isn't going to be felt at the surface, but it's telling you that, you know, we're potentially seeing some higher winds, maybe up to 60 with this storm, meaning that it checks out with the warning. So if you're in the area for this, definitely going to want to watch that. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Aiden did just start streaming. He'll be up in Radar Omega soon. Give him a shout out. Yeah, this is Aiden. He's still getting his stream going, so we'll monitor that. He's approaching this severe thunderstorm warning. And Vince is headed north for that as well too. Okay. We are not going to recover in time. I don't think we're going to be seeing that second round, personally. I think this is it. At least on mesoanalysis, we're not seeing anything regenerate and recover. Yeah, I was surprised. Aaron's eye just keeps shrinking and shrinking, that hurricane. Let me briefly look at that. You can see it on visible satellite. Look at that. Just tiny, tiny eye. Oh my goodness. It used to be fairly large, and it's shrunk considerably, meaning that wind is really starting to increase, I guess. This is a very, very powerful hurricane. Very, very powerful. One of the craziest I've seen in my years of tracking this stuff. Yeah, it needs recon badly. They'll probably find some insane wind measurement and pressure reading, but yeah, this better stay very far away from the United States. We don't want any of this making landfall anywhere. That's bad news. Yeah, our tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning in northern Illinois is continuing to the southeast. No real updates on that one. But seek shelter if you're in that polygon there. Is Aiden going? No, he's still standby for video. No worries there. He'll be live soon. Some gusty winds in front of this. Wouldn't be surprised if they issue another severe thunderstorm warning out in front for that. Some point soon. I don't know if I'm seeing like beam, yeah, it's contamination. That's like the beam bouncing off of something from the radar and reflecting back and giving a false echo. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be seeing any storms fire in this because it's too stable and we didn't really recover after the morning round of storms. So I think that second round is not likely to happen anymore. But we now have a developing MCS here in northern Wisconsin, or central Wisconsin, I should say. So that's going to be our new main focus from here on out. And we still have to watch these storms here to the south too. Eventually, we'll be seeing storms fire back in South Dakota, but nothing's really been happening with that right now. Yep, just taking a brief look. We don't really see. Oh, we have a flash flood warning for north of Savannah in South Carolina. North of Savannah, Georgia. Getting some training thunderstorms here. Might be leading to some flash flooding. They've issued. Oh, it looks like you guys got a lot of rain there, but it looks like it's somewhat dissipating, but there is still some rain, some flash flooding reports. Wow. Some stalled vehicle reports in Port Royal there. Cars stalling out in floodwaters in Beaufort, South Carolina, and Port Royal. Yeah. Seems like some pretty substantial flash flooding there in that area. You don't want to pay attention to that. Got some more rain on the way, it looks like. Just some normal storms. Okay, back up to Wisconsin. Aiden should be out in front of this. He's still working on his stream. But, yeah. Reports of a pretty cool shelf cloud with this. We'll be sure to show that once we can. And then Vince is moving north to intercept this MCS as well. Just a reminder, check out their channels in the description. That's Aiden OWX and Vince Welty. Yeah, starting to see some stronger wind readings here in northern Illinois. It looks like we're starting to see that those winds kind of increase here as it moves to the southeast. In Illinois, Algonquin, Crystal Lake, Vernon Hills, Palatine, maybe eventually Schaumburg, Elgin. In the Chicago Metro, I need to watch this one for some damaging winds with it, especially as this continues to move to the southeast. Like I said earlier, it's an environment that will be supportive of strengthening. So it looks like that it's doing exactly that here. I think lake breeze could have some influence on it too. I haven't really seen that, but yeah, gotta monitor this one for sure. And then this one back up here. Oh, Aiden is now live. So that's Aiden in from Project Weather Eye, Aiden OWX, Aiden O'Brien. He should be live on YouTube here shortly as well. So go check out his channel for sure. He does a great job, and he's got a cool shelf cloud to show us. So we'll keep him up, not full screened, but in the corner if you want to go check out his channel. Gonna be very upfront and say thank you for him for letting us show this. But if you want to go watch his channel in full screen, go to his stream. Don't go here, go check him out, go leave him a like and go subscribe. Same goes for Vince too. I'm not in the business of taking other people's footage, so yeah. We're gonna incentivize going over there as much as we can. I don't make any money from this channel, so. Oh, why am I out of focus? There we go. Yeah, Aiden is on this storm here in central Wisconsin. Marcusson, Ripon, I don't know how to pronounce that. But it does have a cool little whale's mouth on it. You can see this outflow boundary here. That's going to promote a shelf cloud and some pretty cool sights here in Wisconsin. And also some damaging winds. I was surprised they didn't issue the severe thunderstorm warning. They just have a blanket special weather statement out right now. But yeah, that's that. Wouldn't be surprised if this eventually goes severe again, but for now, like Fond du Lac, Beaver Dam, Waupun, Columbus, that kind of area, you're going to be getting a line segment here with some gusty winds on it. Maybe some small hail too, but nothing crazy. This is all in the Radar Omega app. If you're curious and want to download a Radar app, I recommend Radar Omega. That's in the pinned comment if you want to check that out. And be sure to check out Aiden too in the description. Oh, it might look like this storm is trying to catch up with the boundary as well. See, it's moving, trying to catch up with it. Got some half-dollar sized hail in there, 6 mile per hour winds. Looks like these storms aren't really able to catch up with the boundary. They've been struggling to do that for the last hour or so. So Aiden should be going live soon on his YouTube channel. Alrighty. We're a bit far from the radar site with this one. Actually, not too far. But it's picking up some stronger winds aloft, like 70s mile per hour. That's why I'm kind of weird that they didn't issue a severe thunderstorm warning. I mean, we're not going to be seeing these at the surface. This is scanning quite high up. But it's possible that we could see some, maybe 60-mile-per-hour winds with this at some point. So I have a feeling they're going to rewarn this at some point. So if you're in front of the storm, in the path of this, I would treat it as maybe like a severe thunderstorm, just out of precaution. Don't be outside, on a lake or something. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, but Aiden's still catching up with the storm here. And it looks like the development we've been talking about probably isn't going to happen. So this should be our main risk today. Anything else, back off to the south or the west in South Dakota later. I'm probably not going to cover. That looks to be later in the day, but we'll still keep an eye on stuff in the Midwest for now, and then wrap it up after that. So just got to see what this does and adjust from there. It's just all the stuff in Illinois. I think we have some stuff in Canada. Yeah. Yeah, we have some storms in Canada. Nothing insane. I don't typically cover Canadian weather, but since we have the radar sites in Radar Omega for Canada, sometimes I like to just give it a look. Try to focus on the continental US here. That's not even true. If there's something in Hawaii or Alaska, we'd probably cover it too. But the United States mainly. I am going to be doing more of a focus on the tropical kind of side of things, probably over the next few weeks here. I want to get into hurricanes a bit more, maybe do videos. I've got to learn how to edit first. But especially with Hurricane Aaron, I've been already giving some look at that. But we're going to be ramping up here over the next few weeks as we get more of those easterly waves off of Africa that try to develop in the main development region and maybe eventually track towards the United States. So that's something we need to keep an eye on for sure as that happens, because, Aaron is likely not going to landfall in the United States. Could still see impacts like rip currents and stuff on the East Coast, but it won't landfall, which should kind of decrease the worst impacts from that. But if we get any system later that ends up tracking a lot closer to the United States, that's going to be, potentially very impactful. So we need to keep, we need to monitor the NHC guidance for that and make sure, if they tag an area with like a risk of development or chance of development, keep an eye on that. Look at your local resources, because that could be of importance later if we get a developed system. It's a bit dark. There we go. But yeah, nothing right now. I don't think they've added any specific areas of development right now for the Atlantic. We just have a low risk of formation in 7 days for something off the East Coast, but that's honestly that's probably not going to do much. It's moving offshore anyway and away from us, so I don't think it's really of much concern at the moment. I can show you that right now. Also, looks like they've dropped the tornado possible for this storm in northern Illinois, so we're no longer expecting a tornado with this. Just some wind and hail. So if you're in this polygon, just wind and hail. Still going to want to be inside, but not looking as bad. Oh, looks like we got a new severe warning for Waupun, Beaver Dam, Fond du Lac, Columbus, Wisconsin. 6-mile-per-hour winds and 3/4-inch hail with this. Aiden is on this storm. We'll have him up here. He is on this storm, so this is the severe thunderstorm warning, and he is currently underneath it. Pretty cool. Definitely looks like some stronger winds with this. Pretty neat. Remember to check him out in the description. Check out his channel and go to his stream. He's a good friend of mine. He is live on YouTube now, so you can go check out his stream. I'll even put it in the description or the chat if you want to go check him out. I need to grab a snack in a little bit. Getting kind of hungry. What do you guys have for lunch? Oh, hold on. Seeing something interesting here in the storm in northern Illinois. See, here's our boundary, and it's kind of curving in like this. We have a bit of a, I don't want to say hook. It's not a hook. It's like an updraft that just fired in front of it, but kind of looks like it might be trying to grab the boundary. So if you're in this polygon in front of the storm, I would just watch out generally for wind, damaging wind, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and just keep an eye on things, because I wouldn't be surprised this might make an attempt at maybe a brief tornado or something. Not a great risk or anything like that, but nothing for lunch. Yeah, I would agree with you. I had some chips, but that's about it. Pretty hungry. I would appreciate some lunch soon. It's almost 5 o'clock. It's really dinner. I have to work something out for dinner. Woodstock, Illinois. Let's look at Woodstock, Illinois. Sorry about that. Just texting someone. Woodstock, Illinois. Where is that? Oh, here. All right. Yeah, you guys are you're in that severe thunderstorm warning, getting heavy rain, maybe some small hail with that. That's moving past you probably in the next few minutes. I would say maybe not quite in the clear. You still have the storm behind here, maybe some more rain, but at least for the heaviest rain and hail, it should be lightening up here maybe in the next 20 to 30, like 10, 15, 20 minutes. You should be out of that. And after that, that's really nothing else. You'll just be, out of the rain for the rest of the day, hopefully. There might be some more of some stuff later, like this evening, but at least for the near term, once the storm moves past, you're kind of done. They added some more watches now for Turks and Caicos Islands. Okay. That's for Hurricane Erin. Looks like they have issued more warnings here. You can pull up the National Hurricane Center for that. We'll keep this storm up here. Yeah, the damaging winds are now past Woodstock, so you guys should be good. Let's pull up the NHC. Yep, looks like they have. Thank you, Strandon, for bringing that up to me. You can see there that yellow. They've included some tropical storm watches for the Turks and Caicos, because Erin might be getting fairly close to those islands. Won't be making landfall or anything, but they could be close enough to get tropical storm force winds. So they're gonna go ahead and issue that watch. So that means they're watching for some tropical storm force winds in the future. Eventually, if that looks more of like a certainty, they'll issue a warning, a tropical storm warning for that. But right now, it's just a watch. And yeah, some of the northern islands there too, I just noticed. Yeah. Oh, no, that's not, that's something. That's my background. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it should stay Cat 5. Thankfully, staying well away from those islands. If it would hit those islands, it would be very bad. So we're glad that that's not happening today. Focus back on Illinois here. Looks like they issued that warning to the south. Let's take a look at Wisconsin. Have they issued anything else for that? Oh, Aiden's inside the storm. Oh, good lord. Getting a lot of rain here. A lot of heavy rain and damaging wind. 60-mile-per-hour winds, potentially. Looks like he's having some signal issues because he's in the middle of the storm. Yep. To be expected. You know, you're getting a lot of rain. It's going to cause issues with the cell signal and stuff like that. A lot of rain, hail, and wind. Keep monitoring this. Yeah, I don't think the tornado risk with this is very high at all. I think it's pretty low. It looks quite disorganized, honestly. Yeah, and Woodstock, you guys are nearly out of that. Rain will be starting to let up here and lighten over the next few minutes. Yep, coastal areas around there, Puerto Rico and the Atlantic. Yeah, definitely going to be feeling some higher waves, rip currents from Hurricane Erin. I don't know about any specific advisories issued. You'll have to look at your local emergency management or local resources for that, National Weather Service for that. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you get some higher waves from that. It could cause coastal flooding. That's very possible. But it should stay well away from you guys, thankfully. Got some special marine warnings out for, is that lake? I always get this lake wrong. It's like the easiest thing ever. It's Lake Michigan, right? I always get this wrong. I get... Okay, it's like Michigan. I always swap Erie and Michigan all the time. I always mess it up. It's a big difference. I think this is Lake Erie. Yeah. Okay. I can name every U.S. state and like tell you where it is, but I can't. I always forget lakes for some reason. Yeah, Aiden's getting a lot of rain here. By Alto, Wisconsin, Waupun. Is it Waupun? Waupun? That's the name there. West of Fond du Lac. There, and that's your thunderstorm warning there. It's like we're kind of seeing a general kind of focusing of the severe risk in this area. I don't think we're seeing anything off to the west yet. Yeah, no. Maybe just some showers in South Dakota. Nothing crazy. But this has a history of producing some damaging winds. So if you're in front of this, you're in the path, seek shelter, expect some damaging winds with it up to 60 miles per hour. Thank you for watching, guys. Appreciate the viewership today. I try to be live for around 2 hours, depending on how active we get. If it's active even after that, I'll potentially stay on. But eventually I'm gonna need to eat something. So, but we'll stay focused for now. So like we extended the warning down here in Illinois, 1.25-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Moving to Schaumburg, Elgin, Carpentersville, northern side of the Chicago metro, Schaumburg, that kind of area. Sycamore too, also towards DeKalb, however you say it. This is going to continue to the south, bringing some damaging winds with it. Look at that. You know, we're seeing scans up to 65, maybe 70 miles per hour. Again, this is not at the surface, this is scanning higher up, so. But it's possible some of those winds could mix down to the surface and be fairly damaging. And the NWS is expecting up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. So take shelter if you're in that warning. Also got this storm to the west and by Belvedere, heading towards Sycamore. That also looks fairly substantial too. Probably transitioning to primarily a damaging wind threat for this area. You can see the lake breeze coming ashore. I am interested to see what that's going to do. Oh, Aiden's got a shelf cloud. Does Vince have a shelf cloud? Oh, wow. Yeah, go check out Vince's stream. He's in the description. I'll actually provide you a link to his stream. Put it in the chat. Go check him out. He's got a cool shelf cloud. Go look at that. That's pretty neat. Let me link his stream to you guys. Want to see a cool shelf cloud? Go to the stream link in the chat. That's Storm Chaser Vince Welty in the Radar Omega app and on YouTube, as well as Aiden too. Aiden's just getting tons of rain, tons of wind. Keep him up for now. Yeah, Vince has a cool shot of it for sure. Might want to be watching out for. Oh, we got some wind damage in Woodstock. That guy from Woodstock earlier. Woodstock Police Department reports multiple power lines down in Woodstock relayed by McHenry County EMA. Time estimate by radar. So, yeah, Woodstock. If that guy's still in here from Woodstock, that was in chat earlier. Yeah, you got some damage. Looks like some pretty damaging, decent damaging wind rolled through there. You can see, those higher wind gusts were picked up by radar as it was going over Woodstock, so there was some damage. Sounds like. Hopefully nothing too bad. Also in Belvedere as well. Some tree branches down. Yeah. Got a little compact little wind segment, Boeing segment coming through northern Illinois here. Could produce some local damaging winds with some tree branches down, with maybe trees down, power lines down, stuff like that. So it has a history of producing these things. So if you're in the path, you're gonna want to be getting ready for that. Yeah. And a flash flood warning for Danville, Illinois. Some training thunderstorms here. Moving southeast. So that's producing some flash flooding, some heavy rainfall. So got a flash flood warning out for this area. If you're in you're in this area, you don't want to be taking note of that. I don't know, what are you guys doing for dinner? I just said lunch like an hour ago, but what are you guys thinking for dinner? I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna get. 30-ish minutes to recon for Aaron. Yeah. Yeah, we could look at that. If I'm still live, we can take a look at that. You can see the recon in Radar Omega, so we can pull that up and take a look at Aaron. And what the recon finds once it flies through. Oh yeah, Vince has a crazy shelf cloud. Wow. That is nuts looking. Definitely check him out if you want to see that. I'll put it up for a second, but he's got a pretty neat shelf cloud there. Looks like just a picture of it. If you want to go see that, go to his channel. Pretty neat. But why I think we're not going to get any more development back here is I can show you our on SVC meso analysis here. You can see all that blue that I'm showing here. All this blue. You can see our storms there we've been looking at. All that blue is stable air, and it looks like, especially for that northern Boeing segment here, that's really in a lot of stable air. It's going to kind of run out of steam as it moves east. So that might kind of limit the severity of that. To the south in northern Illinois, you can see there's a lot more unstable air, and that, lends itself to, maybe some redevelopment or strengthening as that line segment moves southeast. Eventually going to hit the lake breeze, and we'll have to see what it does there. But for now, just going to be damaging winds. And yeah, eventually this line segment is going to weaken as it moves east up here in Wisconsin. Fond du Lac, looks like they issued a new severe thunderstorm warning, an extension of that towards the coast of Lake Michigan, Sheboygan, Port Washington, West Bend, Hartford, Menominee Falls, Germantown, that kind of area. You're going to have some damaging wind moving through with this storm here. You can look here at an 8-inch stream. You can see that it's bringing some rain damaging wind. I tried to say wind and rain at the same time. Wayne. That's bringing some rain, damaging wind as it moves east. Wayne's a new one. It's a new. Oh, that's my stream. Oops. Sorry about that. Back here. I showed you my stream overlay. That's pretty cool. I'm still getting used to how this whole OBS thing works for sure. But... we can look back at air in a sec. Make sure I'm not missing anything severe-wise here. Got some hail reports out of northern Illinois too. Small hail, 1 inch. It's like quarter size, I think, something like that. Let's pull him back up. I think once this this line segment moves out over Lake Michigan, we'll probably try to wrap up the stream. That's probably not like 30 minutes out or 45 minutes from now. So once that happens, we'll probably try to wrap things up. But for now, we will cover what's happening here in Wisconsin and Illinois. I don't think there's really anything else going on other than Aaron, which we can briefly look. Oh, we got new severe thunderstorm warnings for Florida. It's like Live Oak, Florida, along I-10 there, in the Big Bend Panhandle region of Florida. Got a severe thunderstorm warning for less than 1 inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, and some heavy rain and lightning too. In that warning, like driving is probably not going to be very fun if you're on I-10 there. Definitely want to pay attention to that. Go inside if you are outside. I've driven this route a lot. I used to go to school in Tallahassee, so you can get pretty hairy there with heavy rain. I think I drove through the outer bands of a Hurricane Sally in 2020 when I was going to school in Tallahassee. That wasn't fun. Heavy rain is not fun to drive through, especially on I-10, so pay attention if you're on that road or in that warning. Down in Tampa here. Crazy. Back up to the Midwest. I want to grab a bag of chips or something, but I didn't really have a much of a lunch, so don't worry, it won't be ASMR. Won't be any like crunching on stream. Don't worry about that. I'll mute my mic. The new tropical storm wind graphic is a tiny part of North Carolina in it. Really? That's concerning. That's not good. Where'd you see that at? Oh, you're right. Okay. No, I got it. I got it. I'll show that real quick. Here we go. Yeah, I think he's talking about this, the tropical storm force wind speed probabilities. Yeah, you can see there the green just barely overlaps part of the Outer Banks in North Carolina. That's pretty much saying there's like a 5% chance of tropical storm force winds there. That's really low. Even Cape Cod too. You can see Cape Cod is included in that, and Martha's Vineyard. Very, 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 very low risk of tropical storm force winds with Hurricane Aaron here as it moves to the north. You can see that that's pretty much saying it's a very, very small chance that this even brings those kind of impacts to those areas. You can see the purples there. That's indicating there's pretty much 100% chance of getting tropical storm force winds. So there's a big gradient there of what they're expecting, and pretty low chance anything substantially hitting the coast there in terms of hurricane force tropical storm force winds. So for the most part, if you're in those areas, you definitely want to be looking at your NHC outlooks and stuff like that to make sure you're not gonna get impacted further. But for right now, at least with the current path, I'll show there. It's not expected to really get anywhere close, but you could get outer bands potentially. So it's just something to keep an eye on if you're in that area. So go back to this. Focused on Illinois now. Yep, those damaging winds, 6-mile-per-hour winds, half-dollar sized hail. They've extended the warnings down to the southeast, more into the Chicago metro. So Chicago, you are now under a severe thunderstorm warning. Downtown Chicago, out through Lombard, Wheaton, Oak Park. Most of the Chicago metro, at least the northern side, is now under that warning. So if you're in that warning, definitely going to want to pay attention. That means some damaging wind is on the way. Let me update my title. Make sure this is actually accurate. Let's see if they adjusted our 2% tornado risk area. No, they haven't updated. Okay. This is our 2% tornado risk area. Possibility for a tornado. Although I think it's very low today, because we're not really expecting anything to develop afterwards after this is done. So welcome to the stream. If you have just joined, welcome. We're watching weather in the Midwest today. Isolated tornado threat, mostly damaging winds, small hail. Maybe up to like 2-inch hail, but we haven't really seen too much of that today. Be right back. I'm gonna go grab some chips because I am hungry. Be right back. Getting some thunder here where I live in Florida. I got some storms on the way for me. Yeah, I got some stronger winds coming into the Chicago metro now. I'd say this is our main focus right now. I know Vincent and Aiden are up north, but we'll keep an eye on. I'll pull Aiden up so we can monitor things. What is this the best or this? Can I center it? Maybe, I don't know. That should work. But we're gonna monitor this in Illinois, Chicago Metro for now. A lot of people in this warning, so let's play that loop back. Make us watch that. Southeast of Grand Rapids, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. 1-inch hail, quarter-sized hail, 6-mile-per-hour winds. That's over Carlton, Hastings, Michigan. Looks like we have some small storms there with some small hail and slight damaging winds, 6-mile-per-hour winds with that. It's moving southeast. That's in Michigan. Just southeast of Grand Rapids. Might be able to see it from the Kalamazoo. There's a storm there, but I don't know if we're looking at that storm particularly. We're looking southwest, so this isn't even looking the right way. Yeah. Wish we had a camera right in front of it. That'd be pretty cool. But yes, it's weird. What do you mean the bit rate's low? As long as you guys can still hear me, let me know. It says my audio bit rate's low. I don't believe that. It probably thought, because I was muted, it thought my bit rate was 0. That's probably what happened. Yeah, no worries. I think it was the audio being muted kind of made it go, what's going on? So I muted it in OBS. Yeah. Checking back in here. It does look like our line here is weakening. You can see our outflow boundary is moving well in front of the storm. the gust front there. So it's not able to catch up with it. So it's kind of letting go. It's kind of exhaling, getting rid of its outflow. So I would expect this damaging wind risk to be kind of lessening here over the next few minutes, especially once it gets over Lake Michigan here. Likely going to mean it'll, once it goes over Lake Michigan, it'll probably dissipate, or at least weaken it substantially. We don't have a lot of instability here, so it's probably running out of storm fuel to kind of sustain itself. Back here in Chicago, still looking at a 1.25 inch hail and 6 mile per hour winds with this kind of segment, Boeing segment, outflow dominant supercell, whatever you want to call it. Tornado threats, I think, is done for today. I don't think we're seeing much of that happening today, thankfully. So, but still means we're going to see some damaging winds in the Chicago metro and west. Maybe some decent sized hail, like 1.5 inch at most. But if you're in this polygon, you're going to want to be inside and not like on a lake or something. Probably some good lightning with this too. Okay, looks like they just extended the severe thunderstorm warning. Now 1 inch hail, 6 mile per hour winds going towards Aurora, Batavia, St. Charles, south here. Let's look. Both of our kind of storms here are weakening a bit. I mean, these still look somewhat robust, but outflow boundaries well ahead of them now. Checking on South Dakota here. Yep, still not much happening. This is probably too late, too much later in the day for us to cover today, but what's worth mentioning, because we still have that slight risk. There's a severe thunderstorm in St. Louis. What? Thought it was... There's just a severe thunderstorm warning for St. Louis. I just missed it, so my fault. But it looks like we have these pulse storms going up. Maybe some, probably this storm here, if I had to guess, maybe met severe limits. with some small hail on it and maybe stronger winds on it. Not too bad though. That's probably what it was. In the St. Louis metro there. Up by Spanish Lake, Bellefontaine neighbors. I think it was that storm. These are just like some pulse storms, your typical summertime thunderstorms. Aaron's eye is closed? What? You gotta be kidding me. Oh my gosh. What the heck? That is ridiculous. Look at this. Look at the eye shrink and then like close off. It is so small. This thing is probably just ripping. Like, it's probably making a run at 170 miles per hour. What a strong storm. And this should stay well away from Puerto Rico. Maybe some isolated flooding, but thank goodness this is staying well away from us in the United States and in the islands here. You guys in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, it's getting close, but you guys should be okay. No direct impacts here. Bermuda is still to be determined. Maybe the Outer Banks might want to watch out, but we're pretty sure this is going to stay far away from hitting anything substantial, thankfully, because this is an absolute monster of a storm, and nothing you want hitting you. That's for sure. The storm surge with this will be absolutely unbelievable. Like, it... Don't want to be in the path of this thing. Yeah, you can see the track here. We play back the loop. It was going more west, and now it looks like it's generally following the line, the track line. So that's good. That means it's probably still going to turn and not impact us in the United States. Or hopefully in Bermuda either. Because this is one strong hurricane, and it's pretty crazy. This is the first hurricane we get this season, and it's already very substantial in a Cat 5. You don't see that often. You can see the eye wall there on the Puerto Rico radar. Just a monster of a storm. In some outer bands in Puerto Rico here. In the British Virgin Islands, they're getting lots of rain from the outer bands of Erin. Typically, on the hurricanes, you want to be on the east and north side. Is typically where you get the most tornadoes. So, since we're getting flow that's the other direction, I don't think we're going to be seeing much of a tornado risk with this. It's quite rare to get a tornado with storms moving southwest. It's not impossible, but it's pretty rare. They just issued a new advisory, didn't they? They did just issue. They did. I think that they kept it at 160 miles per hour, so it's maintaining Cat 5 strength. Just a monster of a storm. Back to Chicago. Got some hail reports. 1.5, 1.2 inch hail. That's out of Crystal Lake. Winds don't look as strong as they did before, compared to like here. They were like this strong, and now they look to be weakening. So I think these storms are starting to weaken out now. Checking back in Wisconsin here. Definitely looks like our line segment is weakening here. It looks like things are starting to wind down. And I think on that note, I'll start winding the stream down here. Thank you guys for watching. We'll give it a few more minutes, but just monitoring things here. Oh, we got some more severe warnings in Michigan. Looks like they severe warned of this storm by Lansing, Michigan. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds on that. Tiny little storm there. And by Ann Arbor, too, in the Detroit metro. That is 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds as well in Detroit, Michigan. Pittsfield Charter Township, Ypsilanti, is that how you say it? York Charter Township in Milan, Michigan. It's like I was trying to do something with that outflow boundary there. I don't know if it succeeded, but doesn't look like anything substantial. So mainly hail wind, nothing crazy. What else are we looking at? Some more severe warnings down in Florida. We already looked at those. Okay. Back to Wisconsin. Yeah, we'll start winding the stream down. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. One more time, I'll remind you guys, if you enjoyed the stream, like and subscribe. Doing more of this in the future. I don't know about tomorrow, but maybe next few days. If we get another hurricane or Aaron looks to do something interesting, I might want to put a video up or a live stream up detailing that. I think, at least for right now, we can look at the SPC and take a look and make sure, or take a look at the next 2 days and see what that's looking like. Give you guys a heads up. Here we go. We're up a slight risk today. So here's our day 2, the marginal for parts of Northeast and Midwest and into the Northern Plains. That has a 2% tornado risk in Minnesota and South Dakota and Iowa, which is interesting. And it's just wind and hail, so that's tomorrow. Day 3 is kind of the same area, but no specific threats outlined on those yet. But if you're in this area, just know a heads up, you have very low end weather, severe weather, like level 1 out of 5 for the next 2 days. Could get upgraded to a slight risk or something, but right now they're pretty low end looking. You can go to the spc.noaa.gov for this information if you want to look at it yourself. Yeah, thanks guys. Unless anything crazy happens, I will be wrapping it up here. I guess if we get like a tornado warning or something later, I might come back, but I'll let you guys know. So thanks for watching, guys. I will talk to you later. See ya.